9 years ago, I ended up in a coma from something that you can just buy from the chemist. And it completely changed how my life has ended up. This is me at the end of December 2017. Not many people know this about me, but I used to be totally dependent on taking codeine or cocodamol tablets. There's some in the cupboard at home, and I felt that I had a bad back or something, or a cold, and it was suggested I take a couple, and I did. And this warm feeling coming over me, and I felt, I feel really good. So that time when I took those 2 tablets, and I had this wonderful warm feeling, it was around the time I was starting my own business, my own video company. Quite often, I wasn't really thinking about myself, just thinking about other people. So when my business started to get busier, of course, my priority was keeping everyone happy, keeping my staff happy, customers, keeping everyone happy apart from myself. So then we got to 2015, split up with long-term partner. The cocodamol was just part and parcel of my life by then. It was Solpadeine Max was my go-to, and they still sell them in chemists now. It's so expensive. I think they're like the same price as a box of cigarettes. And of course, with these things, you need more and more. You need to take more and more to get the same hit. And all through that time, at the same time, a new relationship, but adoption, moving house to where we are now in Burnley. I was just taking on more and more stress, and I was just on autopilot. By that stage, I was taking like a box of cocodamol a day. So you get 32 in a box. I take 16 tablets in the morning, and I take 16 at night. And that just became a way of functioning. By this point, it wasn't making any difference. The highs, I was no longer getting the highs. I was just functioning, and I was entirely trapped. I had no escape from taking these tablets. And it came to a head at December 2017. I was in our new house. We had a very large number of people at Christmas. It was intensive. And William, little boy, got a virus or something. He got an infection. So that resulted in me getting the catching the infection off him as well, and it ended up being me being bedbound. So took my dad home on New Year's, on Christmas Boxing Day 2017. I remember I did go to the Boots in Burnley to get my tablets. That was a daily thing, that not just Boots, there'd be a whole like network of chemists. So I bought those tablets then, and then because of this infection or this virus, I ended up bedridden for a few days. And because I was bedridden, I wasn't getting out of bed, and I couldn't take my tablets. By that point, I was keeping the tablets in the car. I wasn't bringing them into the house. I didn't want William to find them, or anyone to find them, but certainly not William. So it became, I was just, my body started shutting down. So by the time we got to the 29th of December or the 30th of December, Mark took me to emergency doctors, apparently. Don't remember this. Even though I physically walked, well, got in the car and drove there, I don't remember this. I think we went twice. And after the second time, my doctor had been good. She had been trying to help me wean off codeine or cocodamol. And she suggested that I needed to go to the intensive care unit at Blackburn General, which is where I went. And so I went to the, apparently we went there, I don't remember this. They were concerned that I was having some kind of brain hemorrhage or something was going on in my brain. I was doing some posturing with my hands like this. And they were really struggling to get me into a scan, you know, the big machine that scans your brain and your brain more than anything. But so because they were very concerned about me, they induced me into a coma. So they did the scan, brain was fine, but amongst other tests they did, they found a huge amount of paracetamol in my blood. So at that point, they thought I needed a transplant. And so they sent me to Leeds. I was still in an induced coma. They were monitoring me, but once I was in the coma, I think my levels and my settings were coming down. It was looking like they didn't need to do the transplant. And then in Leeds, I came out of my coma after about a week. Took me back to Blackburn, and was in Blackburn for 2 more days. And then they didn't know whether they were going to section me because they thought I might be a danger to myself, or whether they would discharge me. There was some and ahhing. I think at one point they explained to me that I was going to be sectioned, and they explained what that involved. And I just was like, well, yeah, whatever we need to do. But then that changed after a while. Mark spoke to them, and kind of I was emphasising, you know, I was taking these tablets for anxiety, not I was trying to kill myself. So that's what they did. They allowed me to go home. So once I was home, that came home after just over a week of being in hospital, and I knew I had to change, and I was very lucky. I was lucky that I had the support of Mark, and who, you know, got me to the doctors, got me to the hospital. And I was lucky that I had, inadvertently from being in a coma, I was clear of my dependency on codeine, which was probably, I don't know how I would have got off the tablets if it wasn't for that. I think it always needed something serious to happen for you to get off them. If you're watching this and you feel like you take too many prescription medicines, or they're not in prescription, they're over the counter. I got a lot of help anyway, and I understand it's very difficult. And I sorted myself, and I became very much aware of what the problem was that put me under pressure, and that was it's not so much my work, my people pleasing. And I'm still a people pleaser. I hear that song, People Pleaser, and it's like, yeah, that's me. So I have to say no to more things now. I have no risk of relapsing, shall we say. I had to have an operation on my nose a couple of months ago. I had no sense of smell, and they prescribed me some codeine as part of like all the different medication. They gave me a box of codeine, and I just gave it to Mark. I'm like, well, but if you're watching this and what I'm saying about what I've been through resonates with you, then it won't go away. The problem, you will have to address it somehow, some way. And it can be, and that applies to any addiction. But you ultimately, the best thing you can do is talk to someone. And you don't have to talk to someone that you know. Talk to a total stranger. If you're in this situation, that you just need to talk to someone, because the problem won't go away. And addiction is addiction, regardless of whether it's food or whatever else. Thank you to all family or friends who supported me through that time of my life. I'm very pleased I'm on the other side of it. You know, I hope what I'm saying can help someone else. Okay? Have a good day.